So, I think I'm on my phone bandwidth. Ugh, bloody hell! I just remembered. I just started my router. So it's going to be laggy if I'm on 4G. Hang on. I'm hoping it's going to switch over in a second because it should be on roaming. Yeah, I'm going to do some assembly work. Let me just make sure first of all. Put the charge lead back in and. I thought I might as well get on with it a little bit. It's cooled off a bit with having the door open earlier. I had the door open most of the day to let this heat out because it's partly because of my solar panels. You see, they tend to soak up a lot of heat, right? And come on, switch over to my Wi-Fi, not my flipping 4G. Come on. I'm waiting for it to switch over. If it doesn't do that, it'll be really laggy. So I thought I'd do a little bit of video about how I do this sort of thing, you know, because I'm trying to get this done. Let me just see what are we still on 4G? Bloody hell! Come on, switch over to my Wi-Fi. Actually, what I could do, I could just pause the live stream for a second. Resume. Oh, let me just get the Wi-Fi on it. Come on. I don't want to use it. You see, I've only got 500 gigabytes. No, 500 megabytes on my 4G, and I don't use it all up, do I? Obviously. So I'm going to pause the live stream a second. I'm just going to come back in a sec. Right, just give me a minute. Alright, so I'm on my Wi-Fi now, I think. Alright, I think that should be better because the 4G is very, very erratic. I actually melted that one a bit too much on the bottom, so I think I'm going to stick that one aside. So I'll just bend it over like that to get the right length, and then cut one off. This is why it takes so long to do. Two of them. Actually, you won't. Some of these are thinner than others. Let's have a look which are the same. Those look the same. Get two of these as well. These are a little bit narrow. Get two of these. My measuring stick thingamajig that I use is a little bit cockeyed. It's not even so one-sided, you know. The thing I used to cut these tends to be a little bit my scissors seem to be, I keep dropping the damn things on the floor as well. I've got two of the thinner ones, so I put a thick. This is a bit wider than that one, so I'll stagger them a bit because that was a little bit, only probably a millimetre, not much. The tricky part is to shape them for these segment slots. I have to flatten them out on the ends. And oh shit, this stuff is very sharp, so I have to be a little bit careful because otherwise I end up cutting myself. I'll bend that around a bit. This is why it takes me ages, because I've got to shape stuff. And it's kind of shaped a bit like the bird shape thing, sort of thing. But let's see. Bent it a little bit more than I need to, really, but and push it in. That's warm. And it wants to be flattened out slightly inside this slot. To conform to the shape in the slot. It's easier to do it like this than it is to try and shape it to the slot as a flat piece, because it's the way it bends. You've got to over bend it to get it to stay in shape, really. Right, that's one done. Very gently holding this, because except when I'm bending them over. So I'll shut my door now, so hopefully no more visits from the seagull or the cats coming in, because I can't be doing with that distraction. It's a tight fit this way and this way. It's when it just fits in. Get in. I was watching Lewis Rossman a bit ago. He had some panicky moments because he renewed his license. He renewed his license last year, and some kind of screw up with the New York or something, and they said that his license expires in about a month, and it turns out that it was their mistake, and he'd already renewed it last year, and I'm not sure how long licenses last in New York. I don't know if it's retail license, whatever, his repair business. But he was able to get it sorted, which is a bit of a relief for him. I think this one looks wider. That one looks wider, but when I've curled it, it should be alright. I can trim a bit off there actually. I think I have to do, because this definitely is a bit too wide. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim a bit off there. So that should fit now. I've got to get that curly bit off the end, I'll never get it in. I hate doing this job. Most of the magnetic flux is still present when these cores pass by. This is to deflect the field so that we don't have much of a lens drag on the system. Because the field is still present, it's just not moving once these pass by. I guess nobody's watching right now. The cat video where it came in barging in, got about 3 viewers for some reason, because there's no cats mentioned anywhere. Well, it's strange. I think that one's flattening out a bit more because I can't get it in. There we go, it's going now. And put my knife in to get it to conform to the shape a bit better. I wish I could get this pricker thing all the way in there, but it's too thick. It would break it. Because it's pretty tight in there. Right, so I hope the live stream is working. This is pretty wide, I've got to trim a bit off it. It's about 1 millimetre too wide. My scissors seem to be going blunt. I'm going to have to sharpen them or something at some point. See. So I kind of call them deflectors because that's what they're doing. Oh, that is the right length. I'm trying not to cut myself because this is a sharp edge. I can feel it's very sharp. So we haven't got any arrows coming up, so we should be good. Well, don't be disillusioned about the magnet motor project, because I put it on the back burner for the moment, but I have got some ideas for that. I want to get this project, this magnet motor, I want to at least get these segments sorted out, and then we'll revisit the magnet motor, because I have got some ideas on that. I'm just trying to economise on plastic right now, and every time I make something for the magnet motor, plastic tends to go down the toilet because it's all experimental, and I'm just a long way behind on processing and getting that thing to be productive, if you know what I mean. Productive as in something that's got promise. Whereas the generator project, which I've been working on for quite a long time, has a lot more advancement in its design, and is definitely paying some sort of dividends at the moment. So this is why I want to get this project in my main lead time. We're going in, all right. So I'm trying to get the generator to a point where we can see something positive from it, and the magnet motor is very, very experimental at the moment. So I want to basically prioritise what I'm doing. So that, yeah, that one came out pretty well. Look, see if I can get the focus right. Focus, come on. Focus. Yeah, that one came out pretty good. We can actually see daylight through the back of there, probably. So there we go, another one done. Another one. We're actually making some progress. I need another 7 of these. So this is 5 down, 7 more to go. I think that's right. Yeah, something like that. At some point, I've got to cut some of this nanocrystalline sheet in, because I've only got this bit left, so I've got to cut some more out of the main strips. Just straightening that out. Every single one of them, I've got to straighten these ends out, because when I bend it over the piece of plastic to cut it, it has a kink in it. Right, let's get the next one. Let's see, pick the best ones out of the bunch. Oh, it's got a bit of a curl on it. Yeah, that one will do. Cut that one. Is that one the same? Is that one? Oops. Will that one actually be the same length as that one? Looks like it is. Cool. So you don't have to measure that one, it's the same length. So all I have to do now is, because these are the wider ones, they're slightly wider than I need them. Take a millimetre off there. Oh shit, that just went on the floor. It's going to end up on my foot if I don't find where that went, so I need a magnet. Hang on. Where has that gone? hit it when I found it. There we go. That bit of metal would have stuck in my sock and it would have been rather painful. So I found it. Okay, right, I'll take another meter off this one as well. Try and stop it from flying across the room. Which end is the... I think it's that end. Is this one the right length now? Huh, a little bit over. I just need to take a bit off that one. Oh, I didn't get that straight. Shit, where's that gone? That's about right. So did I actually drop a piece? I think I did. I'm just going to have to use my magnet to just go over the carpet, make sure I ain't got any bits lying around. No, didn't pick anything up, but there is a bit there. Tiny bit. Okie dokie, so why do I want a thin one? I didn't eat all the kebab meat earlier. I ordered it because I was hungry and I wanted some fizzy pop as well, and I couldn't be asked to go out again. I was so hot and tired. Hot and bothered, I think is the word. And I usually order one takeaway at least once a fortnight. I can't afford to get more than that because they're too expensive. So, and the good thing about the takeaway, the kebab meat, is you can keep it in the fridge and steam it. You can steam it, put it in my steamer. So, oh, a bit of metal, look, on my finger, look, that would have stuck in me. A shard. I think it already is stuck in me, actually. Gone anywhere now. So the kebab meat, you can just steam it, and microwaving is a bad idea because it dries the meat out and it makes it all go hard and horrible. Or oven, even the oven does that. So I just steam it, and it makes it supple, and you can reuse it and make sandwiches out of it. That's the way you do it. I used to work at one point in a hotel in a kitchen. We used to steam things to keep them from drying out. That is the way to warm food up properly, is to steam it. Just so you know. Unless of course it's lettuce, you don't steam that, but if it's hot food you do. Come on, go in. Getting it started is a tricky part. There was something fouling up the slot. The slot is... Ah, there we go, got it. In you go. It's tiring doing this. Because I get stressed out. It stresses me because every time I do one of these, there's a potential of cutting myself. I actually cut myself the other day on one of these things. I had to stick a plaster on because it's so friggin' sharp. Let's turn it around, it's easier. Wrong way up. Right, that's 2 in. When I acetone treated the segments, these segments, I have to leave them about a day to dry out because otherwise they go soft. And when I'm doing this with the knife, there's a danger that I'll cut straight through and into my thumb, so I have to let them dry out a bit before I actually put the metal in there as well, because they go very soft. They're actually quite springy. Right, so now is the part where I have to get another sheet, and I've nearly run out. I'm hoping I've got enough in here because I don't want to be peeling more off that solid lump I've got. I'm going to have to do all of it. Oh, I've only got 2 left. Look at that, I've used all that material that was in there. So at some point I'm going to have to start peeling some more off the so is there any stuck together on here? Don't think so. I've only got 2 of these. I'm going to have to start peeling them off the other one, that other stash I've got. We are running out, so I'll get my cutting guide. This is the part I hate. This is where I usually get splinters in my fingers. This is the awkward part. The part I hate doing. Uh-oh. Have I pulled it? Oh, that's the right way. Yeah. So, let's see. My scissors are getting blunt, so at some point I'm going to have to sharpen these buggers up. I'm going to flip this around. Come on. Let's see if I can see light through that other crack to continue on there. Oh yeah, we'll be good. I can see where it lines up. We should line up good on that. Hopefully. There, bang on. Oh, so I've got 2 more strips. Oh, make sure there's no I've got to make sure there's no shards sticking out. The way to do that is to get my file, otherwise I'll gash myself. Doesn't feel like there's anything. I think we're good. Use my diamond file just to check that was. Oh, there is a shard. Kojak would say, something like that. There is a shard right there. I'm going to trim that off, otherwise it's going to end up on my finger. Alright, I think I got it. Yeah, my jig is not ideal, it's not perfect. I really need a better jig. I don't know why it came out a little bit lopsy. Yeah, I mean this one's thinner than that one, you see. It's, yeah. Doesn't matter though. Yeah, there would be a bit of waste anyway. I would have to trim less off each side, the thicker ones, if there was 2 thicker ones, because it's a fraction too long, the big one, too wide. It's only about 1 millimetre. It's easier to cut 1 millimetre off this one than it is to cut off 0.5 millimetre off each one, you know what I mean. So how's everybody doing? I am sick of hearing these empty promises, lies basically, from our government saying that Freedom Day is not going to happen. First they say, oh, Freedom Day on the 19th of July. Well, it's not Freedom Day, it's a lot of crap, just empty promises. Well, I kind of expected that bullshit anyway. It's called gaslighting you. You've been gaslighted. Come on, go in. There you go. Oh, yeah, I had a strange dream the other night. I had a really strange dream. I like science fiction movies or science fiction TV shows, and I had this really interesting dream. I was walking down this path, a long path with gardens, flowers on each side or something. There was this great big archway at the bottom of the path. And as I was walking down this path, I was seeing all these different parts of life flashing in front of me. It was like I was time travelling backwards in time. And if you deviated off the path at any point as you were walking down it, you literally ended up in the time period that you last saw. Very interesting experience. And I ended up stepping off the path at the wrong point, and I found myself in this old village with people carrying buckets of water around, and it was kind of in the days of Victorian times, you know. And I remember that in the dream I was thinking, I got up at the wrong stop, I want to go back. And it was kind of a strange sort of feeling where I kind of felt stuck and I didn't want to be there, and somebody was with me, but I couldn't see who they were. It was shadowy, it was maybe a guide or something, I don't know, but somebody was with me. I wasn't alone, and it was very strange, but excited at the same time. It was like I was exploring something, like a trip. It was like one of them tours you go on where you're experiencing something different and out of my normality, if you like. And I've had quite a few strange dreams like that lately. Completely out of the blue, strange, abnormal dreams. Not scary dreams, just different. Not the norm. I tend to think that these dreams are afterlife dreams. Who knows? Who knows? I've got to flatten the ends, otherwise I don't get an accurate measurement. I wish I could just bend it over and cut it off further, but unfortunately I've got to cut it further back than the crease, otherwise it ends up being too long. It's when I do this I get that kink. I'm trying to do it with less of a kink on it. As long as I can see where to cut it, that's all that matters to me. And this is the one that's too wide. Ah, come on, my scissors are blunt. I'm gonna have to sharpen my scissors. I've got a special knife sharpening thing in the kitchen. I can sharpen the scissors up with that later on. Right. Why is that one Oh, I thought it was longer. It's not. Let's flatten that out a bit. Hello, I see we have a viewer. Don't know who it is. So what I'm doing is doing my nanocrystalline on shaping it. Sorry I can't look at chat, I don't know if chat works anyway. When you're live streaming from your phone and it's in a stand, it's difficult to operate it, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of shape that it's hard to show you really, but that's the sort of shape that I'm bending it in. So when I've done this one, I will have 6 more of these to do for the generator. I'm trying not to cut myself. It's frigging awkward this, because right, here we go, got it in. I think we're in. We'll just flatten it out a bit inside the slot. So it conforms to the right shape. That other one was a bit not quite right. Right, that's not too bad. At the bottom, I can't really see the bottom so well. So I tend to overbend it a little bit so that when I get it in, because otherwise it wouldn't fit in very well, because it's a pretty tight fit all the way up. And then I just use my knife to get it to focus on me. It's not focusing very well. Then I just bend it up against these side walls inside the nanocrystalline holder to get the shape right. I can get more in there if I wanted to. I've only got 2 in each slot, but I don't really need to. As long as it deflects the field, magnetic field around, it does the job. So that's 6 altogether we've got so far. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3 segments. So these two in each segment. 2 of these go in each segment. So that, well, I think I said 7 more to go. So let's see, 4, 5, 6. No, it's 6 more to go. 6 more of these to do. Let's see, was this the one that was a bit manky looking? No, that's a good one. Yeah, I went over acetone. I went and did the acetone treatment on one of these a little bit too deeply, and the bottom all melted out on it. I think it was that one. Yeah, it was that one. So I put that aside. And this one's not so bad. Yeah, it was a bit melted on top. I can still use that one though. I think Ken's probably watching me. I turned the other phone off, Ken, so I've had issues all day. I've had issues all day with my bandwidth. I don't know what's going on with the bandwidth today. It's just been really crap, so I decided to shut the other phone down and just put it to sleep because my CCTV cameras were just acting all weird as well, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's spyware, maybe it's the Big Brother spying on us, or probably. Don't know, don't care. If technology from China doesn't work properly, I'll just turn it off. When you get to my age, like, you don't give a damn. I don't have any secrets. So I'll cut this one off. Damn scissors, they're blunt. I am going to have to do something with these scissors. Hang on a minute. Oh, my leg's gone to sleep. The scissors have got to a point where they're so frigging blunt because I'm cutting the steel on them. The metal's folding over instead of being cut, so I've got this knife sharpening thing. It's been in the family since the 60s, and you stroke it. It's not like a file. It's for sharpening knives. It just strokes the metal back into place, sort of thing. It's not actually abrasive. It's got these little fine hardened spleens down the side. I think that's working. I just need to rest. There's a technique to using this thing. I can see the edge where it's got a bit blunted. If there's a slight bit of metal folded over on the knife, the idea is that this folds it back. Yeah, there's some pretty bad areas on here that want... I might actually use my diamond file to sharpen this. I might have to do that. Actually, I think I will. So if I get my diamond file, this thing here, you have to get the angle just right. That's better, I think. Get the other thing. Let's just go over that. Yeah, that's better, I think. It's not very sharp, but it's sharper than it was, I think. You have to move it so it goes in towards the blade, otherwise you end up with, that doesn't sharpen it very well. Let's just test it. See if it's any sharper than it was. I cut 2 of these, I need to cut 2 more. Let's just see if it's any better than it was. Just going to flatten them ends out. Right, is that any better? Find out in a sec. Because it was oh yeah, that's better. It's better than it was. Right. Yeah, definitely cutting better than it was. Oh, I've got to trim this 1mm off this thing again. Find out now for sure. Oh yeah, it's definitely better. That is a tight fit. This blade goes to about there when it goes through, so I usually have to go on the back side as well. It's awkward to see down the back because it's a bit melted over. I pushed it out a bit, maybe. Another one. You can see why I get a little bit fed up after a while, because this is a very tedious, repetitive and very boring part of the process, but it's something that you got to learn. There's a technique to doing it. What I'm actually doing is the ends are pointing slightly inwards at the face this side, and the reason for doing that is that the magnetic field is has an entry point, and then as the magnetic field passes that cutting edge, which is like a cutting edge, but it flexes on the back side of this, and it allows the field this to pass the magnet more easily once it's passed by. It's difficult to show you that really, but I've got a bit of a burr on this side, so I think I'll stick this side in first. Oh, I see my viewer disappeared. I guess when I said the word boring, he probably thought, oh well, I won't watch them. Oh well, oh well. I think Ken's probably gone to do his garden. God, it's so freaking hot tonight. It's really humid. It's sticky. We could do with a good thunderstorm to wash away the humidity. Another way is to take a cold shower, but yeah, I think that's a little bit too cold for me. So we're still live. Oh my god, I've been going for an hour. I will probably end the stream shortly because, as I said, this is very repetitive. There's not much point in showing it, me repeating myself over and over and over again, because once you know how to do it, you kind of don't really need to learn the same thing twice or 3 times or 4 times. Right, so this one has to be thinned out a bit. I'm putting these little bits I'm cutting up in a plastic pot because you never know, I might need them at some point. I was watching Let's Dig 18 again earlier tonight. He's sick apparently. I don't know what he is. He says he's got a head cold or something. Let's hope it's not COVID. Who knows? So he's having to take some time off. God, this is going to be tight getting it in here. I'll try it the other way. Sometimes it goes in easy the other way around. Got it. Getting it started is the tricky part. In you go. Definitely these new segments out since I put the new nozzle on. Printing at 0.2 millimeters is a lot better. It's slower, but it's a lot better than printing at 0.4 millimeters, because you get much more defined precision. If you do print at 0.2 millimeters, you got to tell the printer that you're printing at 0.2 millimeters. Otherwise, you end up with a complete mess. It's in printer settings, in case you wondered. It's not in filament settings, or it's actually in printer settings. Yeah, hardware printer settings. In the software, but yeah. So you got to program your printer to know what kind of diameter nozzle you're printing into, so that it slows things down, so it doesn't ooze everywhere, and you end up with a big mess, which is what would happen. I think a good analogy is to say, imagine you told the printer to basically fill a 1 gallon bucket and you were only using half a gallon bucket. Well, obviously it would overfill. That's actually pretty close to the right length, that. So these are the bits off the end. These are the waste bits. It's cool that they're actually the right length, because if the waste bits, the bits that are left over, ended up too short, I would end up with a lot of scrap material. But luckily it's coming out just the right length, which is lucky for me. It means I don't have to deal with a lot of scrap material. So where did my viewer go? It's kind of funny when you're live, you kind of feel a bit reluctant to talk when you think you're talking to yourself, but I know that people will come along later on. There we go, it's exactly the same height now as the other one. After you've been cutting these for a while, you get used to knowing exactly how much you need to cut off. And I tell you, after this one, I think I'll just stop and have a break, because my fingers are starting to look a bit sore. Yes, it does. It's pretty sharp. You might not cut yourself to the point where you bleed, but you do end up with little nicks in your skin and sore areas, because it's so frigging tight. Come on, you gotta go in. Yeah, we've got it started now. Ah! Why is that one sticking out? Oh bollocks, it's a bit too long. So much long. It's come out the bottom. Why is it? Oh dear me. Let's see, I might have to push that one out. That one's a bit long for some reason. Have I got two there or just one? That's weird. I have to trim a bit off the bottom of here because it's... Oh. I don't know why that was long. Right. Push it back. That's better. So, did I screw up? I don't know. We'll weigh it and find out. Right, so if I get my scales, and I put the tripod a bit higher. So this one weighs 5.8 grams. The one I did before that, whoa, I don't know which one it was, I'll just do one of them. 5.8 grams, so yeah, they're the same. So let's pick a different one. 5.7 grams, huh? That's strange, that one's a bit lower for some reason. 0.1's nothing. 5.7, that one's 5.72. 5.7 I mean as well. 5.7, nearly 5.8. So yeah, we're good, we're good. Most of them are between 5.7 and 5.8, so I had to trim a bit extra off that one and it's still right, so it's 5.8, so it's still heavy. So it's heavier than the others, so that's the main thing. Right. So anyway, I'm going to stop for a bit because oops, oh, stupid thing. Turn off. Right. So anyway, I am going to stop for a bit because I'm going to watch some Kojak or something because I need a break. So let me see, how many more have I got to go? I have 4, 5, I think I've got 5 more of these to do. So I'm making good progress, I'm more than halfway there. I'm just going to do this, I forgot. I'm just going to do this with a knife. Shape it to the, conform it to that shape a little bit, bend it with my knife. I'm basically taking out some of that curvature I put in it because I put extra curvature in. That's better. My grandma used to tell me off when she was alive years ago. She died in the 80s, 1980s I mean. She used to tell me off and she said, don't say butter, but say better. She was right, slang English doesn't work. If we all started to slang it, eventually we would all be talking gobbledygook to the point where nobody could understand what we were saying. You can only bend something so much before it becomes unintelligible. That is the point. It's like it's distortion. Imagine analog recording as I used to play around with my reel-to-reel where I'd record a loop of audio, and then I'd feed that loop of audio into another reel-to-reel recorder, because at one point I had 2 reel-to-reels. So you have this tape loop going around. It plays back the audio into the first recorder. The first recorder records that audio onto the tape. The tape travels through to the second recorder, which plays back that loop again. And after about 30 or 40 iterations of recording it over and over again, it gets to a point where the words become totally unintelligible. It's just a muffled, garbled mess that you can no longer understand. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but it's very interesting. It teaches you something about slurring your words. It makes a lot of sense in the fact that if we all did that, eventually nobody would be able to understand what we were saying. Because if you get one person slurring your words, and then another person basically learns the language from the person that's slurring the words, and that person slurs the words even more, then eventually you sound like the people on that movie Idiocracy. The movie Idiocracy, where they're all sitting in these chairs and they've got a built-in toilet and they're watching TV in the chair. They've got a frigging toilet in his chair, and he's basically eating and shitting while he's watching TV. I watched that. Actually, I'd never seen that movie before until recently, and I couldn't stop. At first I thought, what a load of crap. And there was all these cars driving off this flipping broken motorway, and they were all piling up in a big crash heap at the bottom. And I thought, yeah, is that where humanity is destined to go? If you've not seen that movie Idiocracy, oh God, it just blows you away. It makes you realise that if we're not careful, we're all going to end up in that wreckage pile at the bottom of a motorway somewhere. Humanity is doomed, sort of thing. You gotta laugh at it, really have. Yeah, I think that's a good one. That's good. So yeah, I've got that one shaped right, more or less. It's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to take a break. I've got one more of these sheets to do, you see. I think I'm going to have to peel another one off this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to peel some more off here, because I'm going to run out. So let's have a look. So can I peel some more off here? I'll go for the one on the middle. Just a minute. Ah! I think I got splinter then. This is tricky because they're stuck together, you see. Oops, my knife fell out. Oh shit, I'm going to stab myself in a minute. I don't know warp this, so I want to keep it as straight as possible. Ah, got you. Right, got that one off. This was a part of a transformer. You've got to bend them out like this to get them to coat, then get your knife in. Get my knife in, I'll try not to gash myself, because this is where I usually end up with splinters if I'm not careful. Go around. around. There we go, I got another one off. I'm going to need about 2 of these. There we go, I've got 2. Right, put these back because there's no point in peeling more than I need. You never know, because I might need this for some other job at some point. So I've got 2 more nanocrystalline sheets to work with. Oh, actually I think there's 2 there. Actually, I don't know. Let me just measure the diameter. What is it? 0.1. No, that's just 1. Feels thicker for some reason. 0.1. Yeah. So each one of these is 0.1 millimeters thick. So yeah, that should be enough to complete these nanocrystalline, because I started out with about 2 anyway. 3 was it? And I've got a bit more material here. So the reason I'm stopping at the moment is because, as I say, I just like to do a bit at a time. Otherwise, I just get really frustrated, and yeah. So I'm just going to clip these onto this top of this one. I've got to straighten this out. Actually, the way to do that, you get your flat thingamajig. You lay it on the table and you stroke it like this where the curve is. And look at that, it's gone. That curve's gone. So you just put it flat. There we go, it's flat now. There we go, flat. Do the other one, you just push it down, get your flat. Oops, that's flat now. Do the other one. I've gone too far there. There we go, it's flat now, more or less. So this is how you flatten them out. You get them nice and flat without kinks. You just stroke it. Right. Alright. We'll see you later.